In order for me to identify where to start, I look straight and put a brush vertically on the side of my nose up to my brows and then mark that as my starting point. Now I use an eyebrow powder to do the body. I always prefer my brows to be closer to one another because I have wide set eyes. Then I switch to a brown marker to add hair-like strokes details. And then I take a very small detailing brush with a darker shade and continue applying hair-like strokes. I'm gonna be wearing a peachy pink wig later, so I want to lighten the color of my brows as prep for when I apply same brow shade as the wig. Now I just make sure that my eyelids are clean and oil-free before I put anything on by simply using a tissue. Today I just want to play around with this fiber-like eyelid tape. I don't usually use them because I'm the biggest fan of the cut crease makeup as it helps my hooded eyes look as if I have more lid space. But yeah, today I just want to see if it's gonna help my life easier in achieving that effect. Now let's put on the fiber. This step is scary as it's so close to your eyes, so please be extremely careful. Also, don't point your scissors up as you can easily cut off your own lashes if you make a small mistake. It almost happened to me. And we're done with the eyelid tape. Phew, that was a struggle since I'm not used to it, but with practice, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a lot easier. I think it really helped my eyes to have more spacious lids, so now we'll see how it's gonna perform with heavy makeup. It's a must to use proper eye primer rather than using a concealer because your eyelids can be oilier than other parts of your face, so they're designed to resist heavy oils, whereas concealers requires more moisture, which is what we usually need for under the eyes and other parts of the face. So if you use that as your primer, it's not gonna help much with the longevity. Although concealers work with some people, I would really recommend to use an eye primer instead. Time to put on some colors. Start off by applying this custard shade called Edge from Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette on the crease. Now I'm buffing this orangey custard shade called New Wave on top. I use a shader brush and use same colors on my lower lid. I'm gonna intensify the crease more by adding a saturated coral shade called Saturn from ABH Prism palette. I felt like I want more yellow for the transition, so I add a muted yellow shade called Star from Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette. Then I go back with Saturn to define the crease and lower lash line using the shader brush. I'm gonna start adding more depth and intensify the look by putting on some wine red color shade called All Star using a bullet brush. I'm using it to define the crease, and I also take that to the inner lid. I switch to a more pointed bullet brush so I can get more precision on where I can put on pressure for more pigment and where to feather it out. I find it a lot easier to do that with this type of brush. And now I'm just reapplying Saturn shade on my lower lash and take it even further. For my lids, I use a shader brush with a very beautiful peach shade and make a halo effect using Saturn and New Wave shade. back to the shade Rowdy, I use it to make a cut liner using angled liner brush and then bring it into the outer V and blend it out. I also go back to lower lash to darken it and then line the eye. I'm gonna reapply Saturn shade again since it got lost when I added a darker shade. Then I'm just gonna add a little bit of black called Obsidian on the edges of the liner for more depth. My eyeliner was kinda crooked, so I used Saturn shade to fix it. I highlight my brow bone using ABH Nicole Guerrero mixed with Lime Crime Opals palette. You may skip this step if you're not a fan of glitters or if you simply find the look better without it. But how can I skip them? Glitters is life! I'm contouring my face using Kat Von D's Shade and Light Contour Palette. For my blush, I'm gonna use this peach coral lipstick from Kryolan. I swirl it to a palette and use a silicone sponge to put it on my cheeks. Then I use a slightly darker lipstick for the center part for a more flush look. I had a look in mind that I thought looked good, and it was adding orange and yellows on cheekbones, but I removed it later on because I didn't quite like how it turned out. Now I'm just adding a little bit of red on the center of my nose to the inner corners of my cheeks for more depth. And guys, I just found my holy grail highlighter brush. It's this silicone face brush. Just look how magical is that application. Just one swipe and you get that much pigment on the face already. No need to wet a brush or use Fix Plus to help boost the glow. Just this applicator is enough. I'll show you guys the difference. I have to keep reapplying the highlighter with this highlighting brush if I want to achieve a good glow. Whereas with this silicone brush, I just need one swipe. I wish there's a silicone brush designed for highlighting though. Mine's got quite an odd shape. I have to work around it or it's gonna leave me a weird highlight streak. My old highlighting brush will still be useful because I need to use it to blend the edges since the silicone gives a harsh line. Now I'm applying with silicone shader brush for my nose highlight. And yes, I mix that much highlight. I'm fond of mixing highlighters. Here, I finally realized that the orange-yellow cheeks don't quite get along with the look that I want to achieve, so I'm just fixing it by adding powder that is a bit lighter than me and fix. Just like nothing happened. So yeah, if ever the same thing happened to you guys, don't panic, just get some powder and it's gonna get the job done. I'm very happy with my highlight, so I'm gonna add more. I can never have too much highlight. Now I'm applying faux freckles on my face. What I like to do is take a very small detailing brush and use eyeshadow so you can control the pigment of the freckles you want. The key to freckles makeup is to give it variety. Don't do just one shade, give it some light, dark, medium tones, and the shape doesn't always have to be just a dot. Mix it with slightly slanted shapes. For the lips, I line my lips first with Everbelena lip liner in Sexy Nude and apply Ofra liquid lipstick in Rio. I'm so in love with this shade. And tada! I already put on this cute peachy pink wig from babalahair.com, and I just add more glitters on the eyes and cheeks of calm. I'm so loving this wig color. Now that I have my wig on, I have to match my brows with it. I use a light eyebrow mascara to kind of bleach my brows so the pigment that I will use on this will appear better. And we're done. I hope you guys enjoyed the tips and tricks that I shared on this tutorial. And before I end this video, I'm just gonna share my thoughts about using eyelid fiber on this look. I think it's not necessary for me to use it on this kind of look because I did heavy eye makeup, and with this specific style, I can pretty much make an illusion of having bigger lids without having to use it. But I think that the fiber will be good if I were doing light makeup. I would prefer to use this fiber than the regular eyelid tape since it's less noticeable and it doesn't really mess up the eye makeup as much as the tape does. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it.